Hey friend, if you clicked on this video, you probably want to learn why, of all places, Ohio is a great choice to start your Airbnb investing journey. So let's dive into it. The first reason why Ohio is so perfect for beginners, especially, and why it's such a gold mine for Airbnb investors is because Ohio has some of the cheapest real estate in the country, which means you can acquire a property that's a, almost turnkey from anywhere from $150,000 to $275,000 approximately, depending on what kind of unit you're trying to get off the ground. But if you're trying to do a kind of average 3-bedroom house, then that's the kind of cost that you're looking at. And those properties don't need a whole lot of renovations or anything like that to get started, which also means that you can get started faster. Now, keep in mind, a lot of the properties in Northeast Ohio are 100+ years old, so you almost always are going to have to do a little bit of repair work, but it can be pretty minimal. And if you have a designer walking you through it to make sure that you're making really intentional decisions, then you can do it quickly and for a small budget. The other reason why you can keep those costs low is because guests in this area are not here for big tourist attractions. So they don't expect really high end design and they don't expect extremely touristy experiences. So you just need to have some memorable design to stand out, but it doesn't need to be the kind of incredibly expensive designs that a lot of Airbnb investors and influencers and designers out there are telling you that you need. In a lot of other areas in the country, you might need $100,000 to get your design off the ground, but here it's absolutely not like that. So you can keep your costs, keep your startup costs really, really low from the very beginning. Now, the second reason why this is such a great place for Airbnb investors is because there are a ton of Ohio cities and towns that are extremely friendly to Airbnb hosts. Their rules and regulations are fairly friendly and fairly lax. And that means that you are investing in a much safer investment. Now, you may not realize this, but there are Airbnb hosts all over the world that are currently operating and making a lot of money and are very successful, and they're doing it illegally. So, if they're in an area that actually prohibits Airbnbs, then even though they may be getting away with it now, any moment, any moment, that city or town could decide to crack down on their Airbnb regulations and they could lose their cash flow overnight. Not only that, but they'd be facing fines and fees, and potentially they could lose their entire investment. And that is not something I want for you. So it's really, really important to work with a realtor who knows the rules and knows the best areas. And if you're looking to invest in this area, I can connect you with an incredible realtor who has done that work to make sure that her clients are really investing in places that are safe for their investments. Now, on top of that, there's another big reason why Airbnb is great in Northeast Ohio, and that is medical tourism. Now, stick with me if you're not familiar with medical tourism, because there are so many positives that come with this. So, Ohio has some of the best medical care in the country and even the world. For example, the Cleveland Clinic is a world-class facility. It's considered, I believe, number one in heart health in the world, number two hospital in the country. And people come from all over the world to receive medical care here. And if they're coming for something, if they're traveling for medical care, it's probably something fairly serious and probably something fairly time-consuming. And that means that they're going to need a place to stay unless they're inpatient the entire time. In addition to that, they not only need a place to stay, but if they are inpatient, they probably have loved ones who are traveling with them that need a place to stay while their loved ones are receiving medical care. And there's nothing worse than when you're feeling sick, staying in a crappy hotel. Not only are you not going to get great sleep and you're not going to have any privacy, but you're also not going to be able to cook healthy meals. And that's really important to people who are not feeling well. So most of these people are looking for Airbnbs to stay in. Now, they're not only looking for Airbnbs to stay in on a fairly regular basis, but they usually need them for weeks or sometimes months at a time. And that means your turnover rate is much lower. That means less work for you, less back and forth. Your cleaners don't need to check in and turn the property as often. And people get really attached to the property. And so they're more likely to leave rave reviews. Now, for all of these reasons, it really increases your occupancy rate because medical tourism is not seasonal. Unlike seasonal tourist locations where maybe there's a beach town or a ski resort town, those are going to be really seasonal for any Airbnb host. However, medical tourism is not seasonal at all because illness waits for no man and waits for no weather. And so your occupancy rates are going to stay really, really strong all year round. The occupancy rates in this area are in the high 60s, and that is higher than the average for Airbnb across the board. So it's a really, really reliable place to have an Airbnb. In addition to the medical tourism that happens here, there are a lot of other things bringing regular travelers to the area all year round. So we have a lot of world-class colleges and universities. Those are going to bring guest lecturers and people interviewing for jobs and residents and things like that. That's something else that I would like to mention about the medical tourism is that there are so many incredible hospitals in the area that you get residents and people interviewing and traveling medical professionals as well. And all of them are going to need a place to stay too. But the universities and colleges bring parents who want to visit their kids. It brings kids who are looking at universities, whether or not they want to enroll. It brings visiting professors and, as I said, interviewees and guest lecturers. So that's a huge draw. In addition to that, because the real estate is so affordable here, we have all kinds of global corporations who have their world headquarters right here in Northeast Ohio. So, anywhere from Sherwin Williams to duct tape to American Greetings, these huge companies are constantly bringing people in for meetings, for interviews, and these are people who are going to need somewhere comfortable to stay as well. We also have a lot of world-class museums, a lot of incredible sports teams. There's great culture and arts here. And so all of these things are constantly bringing new travelers to the area, despite the fact that it is not a traditional tourist location. But there are enough travelers in the area constantly to keep a lot of Airbnbs booked out all the time. Now, Ohio is a great place. I love it here. My heart is here. My family and friends are here. I wouldn't live anywhere else. But that being said, Ohio is absolutely notorious for exporting citizens to places that have warmer climates and a lot more sunshine. But there are also a lot of strong family ties here, which means that those people who move away need somewhere to stay when they come back in town. And they're often staying for many days or weeks or even months at a time. Those people, they want somewhere comfortable, private, and a place that they can cook. For example, my brother-in-law, he lives in Arizona, and when he comes back home to visit, he always stays in an Airbnb because he wants those things. He wants to be able to cook. He doesn't want to stay in a hotel the entire time because that adds up so fast. You can't cook, you don't have any privacy, and there aren't a lot of great hotel options in the area, honestly. And the ones that are good are very pricey. So Airbnb really is filling that gap. There's a big need in the area for really great housing and for places for where people can stay and feel comfortable, truly, truly comfortable. There are a few tourist attractions as well that bring people from all over the world, including Cuyahoga Valley National Park, which is one of the most beautiful parks in the world, as far as I'm concerned, and a lot of other people are concerned. And so national park travelers will come here. There are so many draws. And those are all great reasons why the occupancy rates stay high and you get these longer stays so that you're not turning your property over every single night. That gets exhausting, it gets expensive. And so this makes sure that you are making a bit better return on your investment, on your time and your money. Now, finally, one of the biggest reasons why this is a great place for you to get started, especially as a newbie, is because you can tap into an incredible network of experts who have had lots of success getting investors just like you set up and finding success and getting that cash flow going and getting that return on their investment as quickly as possible. I am connected to some incredible people, including realtors, property inspectors, house cleaners, all the people that you need to get your project up off the ground and get it designed, get it stocked incredibly well. And those are the kind of experiences that create rave reviews. Now, think about this. When the last time you stayed in an Airbnb, if you needed something and you went to reach for it, and it was right there, the first place you looked for it, doesn't that feel amazing? If you think, man, I really wish I had another blanket, and the first closet you open has three choices stacked on the shelf, you feel not only like your hosts are psychic, but like they really care about your experience. And those are the kind of moments that create rave reviews and repeat bookings and create those guest favorite status properties. And I have a lot of experience making that happen for my clients with not only epic, memorable design, but making sure that your guests have everything that they need and it's right where they reach for it. It can be anything from the right kind of vacuum cleaner to the right towels to the right amenities. There are so many little details, thousands and thousands of details that if you can get them all right, you will have rave reviews from day one. And there's so much momentum to be gained if you can get off the ground and have those great bookings and those great reviews from day one. You can get a property up off the ground and then use the reviews to troubleshoot any issues that you have, but you're going to lose a lot of ground. You're going to get mediocre or poor reviews, and that's really going to hurt you long term with your status on Airbnb, how much Airbnb is showing your property to guests who are looking in the area, and what kind of feedback you're getting from guests. So, having all of that just buttoned up from the very beginning is invaluable. And I can connect you to all of the people that you need to get your project in that kind of position so that you're finding success from the very beginning. And I would love to work with you. So, if this sounds like something that really suits what your goals are and you're interested in investing in Northeast Ohio, then you can either go down to my description and there is a link where you can book a call with me. And I would be happy to talk through any questions you have, see if we're a good fit, and if I can connect you to the people that you need. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'd love to answer them. I will always get back to you with those questions. And make sure if you like this kind of content that you subscribe because there's a lot more to come just like this. So here is to making money with great design. I hope this video made your life just a little more beautiful and a lot more profitable. See you in the next video.